mates! Welcome on board Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas. We are here for a 5-night sailing from Cape Liberty, New Jersey over to Bermuda. So be sure to check out our full Independence of the Seas playlist where you can see all of our daily videos, our full room tour, and this video you're about to watch, our full and complete ship tour. We're going to take you around the vessel and show you all the public areas that will be available to you. We're going to start at their bottom and work our way up to the top, going deck by deck. So let's go ahead and get it started. Our tour of Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas begins right now. Alright, starting out with deck number 1, and per the usual, not too much to see on deck 1. Forward area is just a boarding area when you're in port. Same with the midship elevator. So right off the bat, we'll kind of clarify that. You hear me say forward elevators? That's here. Midship is also labeled as Centrum on this ship. So there's 2 elevator bays. But also here off the midship elevators or Centrum elevators is the medical facility. So actually when you come down the elevators on the port side, it is located right across there. And with that covered, we are done with deck number 1. We can go up to 2. Alright, deck number 2 now, and there's not actually a lot to see here. Mostly staterooms, as you can see from our deck map. But something that needs to be pointed out here for deck 2 and deck 3, you'll see this block here. You cannot transverse, you cannot cross through the deck on deck 2 or 3 here. That's not possible. So if you are here, like I am, the midship elevator, and you need to get something at the forward area, like the conference center we need to go check out, we actually need to go up to 4, go across, and then come back down. So again, that would also apply for 3. If you're here on 3 and you need to get somewhere here on 3, you need to do the same thing. Go up to deck 4, go across, and then come back down. So let's do that now. Okay, I am back forward. I'm actually on deck 3 because of disembarkation for the port right now. They have the stairs here to deck 2 closed off, but it's okay because I can turn right here and look through the stairwell area and show you the entrance to the conference center. This won't apply to most of you watching this video, but if you're here with some kind of business or some kind of group and you're having a meeting space, that's there in the conference center on deck 2 forward. They do have the 4 rooms: Aruba, Barbados, St. Thomas, and Jamaica for those private functions or those gathering spaces. And as much as I love symmetry, I am not going to walk all the way to the back to show you the deck map for deck 2 again and say we're done with deck 2. We're done with deck 2. So let's go ahead and start here on deck 3. Now deck 3 forward, not too much to see in terms of a lot of things, just one big thing, that is the theater. So when we come off the forward elevators here and we turn, we'll find the entrance to the theater, and you actually can see the sign up there as well when you're kind of on the promenade area. Now it's currently closed, but I'll show you some footage from the inside. So it is a dual level here on deck 3, and up above on deck 4. This is where you're going to come for production shows, headliner shows, things like that. This ship used to offer grease, but it no longer has that, unfortunately. All right, back at our map, and now we're presented with our problem from earlier where we cannot transverse right here because of Studio B, which we're about to see in a minute. So I have to go back up to 4, come back across, come back down to 3, and then we can do this area here. Luckily, this is the last deck where that's really going to be an issue. All right, we've descended back on deck 3, so here we are making our way forward to show you the entrance to Studio B Center Ice. Now the main thing this is going to house is the ice skating show, as well as the free and included ice skating sessions. Also some other events like laser tag can be found in here as well. Just remember, you can only access Studio B on deck 3 from the midship elevators, not forward. As we exit Studio B, we see the Focus Photo Gallery. So if you've had any professional photos taken on board, you can view and purchase those here. And you can also have a professional picture session done at Picture This Photo Studio connected right next door. Or if you're looking for some kind of photo accoutrement accessories, they do sell GoPros and lanyards and gimbals and albums and things like that you can purchase here as well. So you can use the self-help kiosks, view your photos, and purchase those right here at the Focus Photo Gallery. Past the Focus Photo Gallery, we will enter the Park West art display area here at the bottom of the grand stairwell. So they will have different art pieces on display. If you want to bid or purchase on those, if they're having an auction, or if they're just offering them straight up, either way, you can look at these and view them, decide if you want to purchase something to have, I would say take home with you, but I do believe they ship these to your home. You don't have to walk off the ship with them, which makes sense. But their desk is right over here. So again, this is all the Park West Photo Gallery, or art gallery, I should say, area. And that is just ahead here of the midship elevators. You can see the clear tubes and the stairs up above. And then if we head all the way back here, we have our last thing to see, on deck 3 here, which is the main dining room. Now, there are actually 3 levels to the main dining room here on deck 3, also on deck 4 and deck 5, and you'll know which one you are supposed to go to by viewing your C-Pass card, aka your room key. So that will tell you which deck you're going to be on. And you can come, you can check in here, and then this is the actual dining room area. Now, it's all the same dining room. They're just connected and open air from one deck to another. So it's actually going to look very similar across the decks. It's just going to matter which one you go to for what your dining time is, if you're my time dining, what have you. Again, that will be assigned to you. So you have the porthole windows on either side here, all the beautiful tables in the middle, gorgeous chandelier up above, and the nice artwork with the grand staircase in the middle there. And then you can see, like I said, open air to decks number 4 and decks number 5. So all of the main dining takes place here. You just have to enter from your appropriate assigned deck area. Quick recap of deck 3 here while we're at our map. So we saw the theater, we went up, came down, back across, saw Studio B, the photo gallery, the art gallery, and then of course the main dining room. So that wraps up deck number 3, and we can head up to 4. Deck number 4 now, we begin at the midship elevator, and as we can see here at the back end of our map, only thing in the aft section is the dining room, which we already covered. So you'll find the entrance to that. Again, right above where we found the entrance on deck 3. So it's just a higher deck. Everything else is going to be forward. One thing I want to show you though is actually outside here. So if you turn and head starboard or port side, either way, you can actually get out on this little promenade walking deck. Completely open air here. Got the lifeboats up above. A lot of muster stations will be out here, but this is a great place to take in the view, whether you're sailing or you're in port, and it kind of wraps around almost the entire deck. And if you actually head all the way forward, that is how you will access the helipad should you want to go up there for some viewing. And back on our map here, you can see that outdoor deck section here, kind of in the yellowish color, continues on around. You see the stairwells there. That's actually where it goes up to the helipad, which is technically on deck 5. So again, you can go outside, starboard or port side, doesn't matter. Now we're going to shoot through the middle here and continue forward. So directly in the middle of the deck here, we will find these kind of grand stairwells. You can see down to the focus photo gallery and the art gallery where we were just a minute ago. This also goes up to deck 5 to the promenade, which we will see in a little bit. But here where we are in deck 4 is actually Boleros. This is the Latin lounge. Plenty of seating here, huge bar area, and then they're going to have a live stage, a live music stage, I should say, right here in the corner, as well as a dance floor. So if you want to come and cut a rug, you can do that. And it actually continues on around to the other side too, because you can hear the music pretty well, no matter where you sit in here. It kind of gets a little loud, but have the cool car seat here, good photo opportunity, and then more seats over here on the starboard side. As we make our way forward, heading into one of my favorite establishments in all of Royal Caribbean's fleet, Playmakers Sports Bar and Arcade. I mean, the name pretty much tells you what it is, but if you're looking for live sports action, this is where you want to come, because they have a ton of TVs in here showing whatever is going on at the time. You can come into the bar, which is massive, get a drink, but they also serve food here for an additional cost. Though I will say, I think it's a great value. It's a lot cheaper than some of the other food on board, and it's very tasty. Nice open air viewing here to the Royal Promenade, and we continue throughout the section. The TVs are going to be everywhere, and then they even have some billiards here, which is great, and I believe they have those set up free to play, so you don't even have to pay for them. Some board games scattered throughout the area, skee ball and basketball as well. So nice area here in Playmakers. Great place to take in a game or a live sporting event such as the NFL draft that's going on right now. And then we see here, these are not arcade games. These are slot machines that they've actually extended here into Playmakers, coming out of Casino Royale. And obviously that is the casino on board Royal Caribbean's fleet, always called Casino Royale. So the thing you need to know with this one is that the slot machines are going to be everywhere that they can fit them, but majorly on the starboard side, on the right side of the ship. A little section of table games as you come in here, but most of the table games are going to be over on the port side, over on the left side of the ship. They will have some TVs throughout the area showing live sports as well. Of course, they have ATMs if you need to withdraw cash. They have the cashier's cages for exchanges and things like that. And then they do have the bar here right in the middle of the casino, and the stairwell that goes up to the Royal Promenade as well. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, tons and tons of slot machines throughout. Whatever is your fancy, you can probably find. And then again, the table games mostly over here on the port side. I did want to point out this sign because we've seen it on some other ships as well. Smoking permitted for active players only. They don't want people coming into the casino and just using it as a smoking section. They want you to go out in the designated smoking section up on deck. I don't know how much that's enforced, but just to let you know that they do have that here. As we exit Casino Royale, we will see the dark woods on the floor. We'll see all the nautical touches on the wall, the ropes, the ship's wheel. Because we are in the schooner bar, a Royal Caribbean staple, this is the piano bar on board. Of course, we have our bar space over here at the side, porthole windows over there to let you take in the view, plenty of seating throughout, and then the piano right here in the middle. Now, it's not just uses that, they'll also do some trivia and some different kind of activities here as well, but that's kind of the main thing of it, is that it is the piano bar. Now, looking forward, we see the entrance to the Royal Theater again, and these stairs that go up to the Royal Promenade or down to deck 3, the elevators on either side. But if we turn over here to the port side, we will find the entrance to Izumi, Hibachi, and Sushi. Now, both of those are an additional cost. They are specialty restaurants, so you do have to pay additional for them. They're not included, but you can get a full hibachi experience here. You see they have 1, 2, 3 tables in the restaurant as well. Oh no, 4 hidden over here in the corner, as well as kind of the sushi bar area. So it's a different setup depending on if you're doing the hibachi or if you're doing the sushi. It's a different cost and a different menu structure. Both of them are excellent. We typically go for the sushi. And keep in mind, even though it's called Izumi Sushi, they have a lot more than sushi. A lot of times they'll have ramen or teriyaki bowls, things like that, udon noodles. So come in here and check it out. By far the most consistent and most delicious cuisine in Royal Caribbean's fleet is at Izumi. Checking in at our map here for deck 4, against all the dining room, boleros, playmakers, casino, Izumi, schooner bar, and the only thing here on the forward part of deck 4 is the upper level entrance to the Royal Theater, which actually isn't right in the middle. You kind of have to come around here on either side. Starboard or port, then you can go into the theater, and then of course that outdoor deck continues, and if you head forward and go up the stairs, that takes you to the helipad. But with that, we are finished with deck 4. We're going to 5. All right, deck number 5 now. As you can see on our map here, a lot of things to see on this deck, especially in the middle. We're at the forward elevators though, and the only thing to really see up here, if we turn all the way forward and head through, we'll find the entrance to the Star Lounge. Now this is a mixed-use space. They use it for different activities, so it could be trivia, it could be karaoke, private events could be held in here, different things. So just a mixed-use space, lots of seating, lots of lounge space throughout, and then they do have a bar in here as well. Porthole windows on the side so you can take out the view. Stage, activity, and dance floor area right there in the middle. And if the Star Lounge is open, and these doors are open, which they are, you can actually come out this way and get to the helipad as well. Remember a minute ago I said you take the stairs down from the promenade deck, or up I should say, right there. That's where that is, but if we head forward here and just follow the hallway around, this will dump us out at the very front of the ship, and that is where we will find the aforementioned helipad. So just another little flight of stairs up there. You can see they have some benches. So if you want to come out, sit, enjoy the views. It's a great place to take in something like Sail Away. Now, if it gets too windy, they will close this area off. So you won't be able to come out here. And I think typically at night, they close it off as well. But a great place to come in. Take in the port that you're at. Take in sea as you're sailing by. Again, Sail Away is a perfect opportunity. Look back at the front of the ship with the porthole windows for the ocean view staterooms, even up at the bridge there with the captain, the crew are handling things. Really cool spot here on the helipad. Again, accessed from deck 5 Star Lounge if it's available, or deck 4 Promenade deck. Now back in at the Star Lounge entrance, one other thing to show before we head out to the Royal Promenade is if we turn over here to the starboard side, we'll see that this is actually the library, and it's a quiet zone, so I'm not gonna talk too much in here. Oh no, it's closed. Oh no, you have to push. Okay, doesn't appear that anyone's in here. So they do have some computers that you can use, access the internet. If you have an internet package through Voom, you can access the internet through these computers, use them to print things if you need to, and then they just have a nice relaxing seating area, some books you can check out. They usually have little paper games like Sudoku or crosswords or puzzles or things like that in here as well. Back at our map, so we saw the helipad out here, accessed from the Star Lounge, or again, the stairs up from deck 4, and we saw the little library right there. So we go through the elevators, and now we're gonna enter the Royal Promenade area. And I'll point out that you can find some ATMs in the Royal Promenade area here. And next to that, we enter kind of this large seating area. You see they have some beverage stations set up here as well, and then all the pictures around in black and white, and the brick. Of course, this is Sorrento's, the pizza place on board. Pretty much a Royal Caribbean staple. It's on most ships, if not every ship It is included with your cruise fare. No additional cost to get pizza, or if they have little other snacks here or anything at the beverage station, that's all included. They also have some seating out here in the promenade itself, which is nice. And then they do have a bar attached. Now, anything you get from the bar would be an additional cost, or, you know, if you have a beverage package, that could be utilized here as well. Now, a lot of times when I do tours of ships that have a royal promenade, I like to go down one side, come back around and do the other. But this one is so narrow, I think we can kind of just bounce back and forth here. So across from Sorrento's, we have the market. This is a store area that does sell a lot of the alcohol and tobacco, but they also have some souvenirs, sunglasses, shirts, and hats. Continuing through the promenade, I'll point out right next to Sorrento's here, you'll see a couple of Coca-Cola Freestyle machines. These are utilized with your souvenir Royal Caribbean tumbler cup if you have a drink package. Now, currently at the time of this video, that cup is now only included with the soda package. If you get the refreshment or the deluxe beverage package, you have to pay $4.99 if you want the cup to use at the Freestyle machine. So keep that in mind and check. It might be different by the time you actually sail, but that is the case right now. These are great though. You can come up and get all kinds of different sodas, but they also have tea and Powerade, ginger ale, things like that, which is really great. Vitamin water, and then just standard water as well. So utilize your tumbler cup here at the Freestyle machines, and I'll try to point these out where they're available on the ship as we go. Continuing on here, we see the dark colored furniture and the globe light up above, because we are at the pub on board, which on this ship is called the Ale and Anchor. So of course you can come in here and get some drinks. They have a small stage for live entertainment, and then the bar stretches all the way across with seating on the inside and on the outside here at the promenade. Across from the pub where the gentleman is doing a broadcast presentation, that's actually the port shopping desk. So if you have any questions about shopping in the port you're visiting, you can come there and speak with a representative during their hours of operation. And right next to that, we do have Trend, which is another store on board, and this is selling mostly jewelry. I see watches, I see rings, I see necklaces, jewelry. And right next to Trend, we see the stairwell that goes down there. That actually heads into Casino Royale. We saw that below. Remember, that was the stairwell that was right behind the bar. So now continuing forward, right next to the pub, we will find Solera Beauty, which is selling cosmetics and fragrances and more jewelry. So if you didn't get enough from the other shop, you can come in here and get some as well. And all the shops will have their hours of operation posted outside. Something that a lot of first-time cruisers don't know about is that shops are typically closed when you're in a port because of laws and legislations and things like that. You usually have to catch them once you're out at sea. Across from Solera Beauty, we find Vintages. This is the wine bar on board. And so we have a lot of seating inside, as well as a little bit out on the promenade next to the car there. We'll see that in better detail in just a minute. A lot of vino in here. Got the bottles stacked up. Great place to come and have a sip of wine and just relax, have a chat. And here's the car. Something you will find on Royal Caribbean ships that have a Royal Promenade is there'll be some kind of cool car here that you can take a picture with. They usually just ask that you don't actually touch it or get in it or anything like that. And just past that, we will find a duo of shops here, starting with the Collection, which seems to be mostly handling and handbags and purses and things of that nature, though I do see some sunglasses in there as well. And directly across from that, Regalia, jewelry and watches. I don't think I need to tell you what's in here because I think I just did. Now before we continue on, I want to point up and show you all these windows here. You might have seen them as we were going along, you might be wondering what those are. So these are actually called interior promenade view staterooms. So yes, those are staterooms that you can stay in. They are technically interior rooms because you won't see the ocean, you won't have a view outside at all. But you will have these windows that look out here into the promenade. So it gives you a little additional space, and it also gives you something to look at. Here we see they have the Voom desks, powered by Starlink now. Great internet at sea, much better than it used to be, so you can pay additional for that. But if you have any questions about how to utilize it, you can speak to the representative when they are there. Now, this used to be Ben & Jerry's ice cream, but that partnership has ended. So what Royal Caribbean has now done is they've made a Sugar Beach, which we'll see in just a second. That's like kind of their candy stop on board. And they've now made this Sugar Beach ice cream. So this does come at an additional cost. You see you can get the small cup for $3, the medium for $4.50, or the large for $5.75. And then they also have signature sundaes that they will make for you as well that are kind of pre-made selections, but then they'll usually have different flavors throughout the cruise that will be on display here. So you just come and see which one tickles your fancy and grab some delicious ice cream. Now, You heard me say that this comes at an additional cost, and you might be thinking, really, I gotta pay for ice cream on my cruise? Don't worry, we will have an included option coming up later. So again, attached right to that is actual Sugar Beach, which is closed right now since we're in port, but they do have the grab bag candy selection there, some pre-wrapped candies in the middle, as well as some stuffies that you can purchase. Across from Sugar Beach, we will find Cafe Promenade. This spot is open 24 hours a day, so if you need something overnight, this is where you want to come. They have an included beverage station here, but you can also get some included sandwiches and little sweet snacks and included drinks here, and then they have the coffee bar serving Starbucks items here as well. Now those come at an additional cost unless you have a beverage package that includes them, but you can order that right here. Coming up next, we have the shop, and obviously it's where you can shop, but they're going to have some more sunglasses and bags and t-shirts, but then you're also going to get into some Royal Caribbean items themselves with the Crown and Anchor logo. And the last thing to see in the Royal Promenade area here is the next cruise desk. So while you're on board your current cruise, you can come here and book your next cruise. They're going to have the same prices and offers that are currently going on back at shore, but you're going to get some onboard credit and you're going to get reduced deposits. So it's definitely worth taking advantage of. People always ask me if it's worth it. Absolutely, because it's the same deal you would get back home, but they're going to throw some extra stuff in there for you. And even if you don't know which cruise you want to go on next, you can actually do a placeholder deposit where you can come. You don't even need to talk to anyone. You can fill out one of these papers and drop it in the thing here. They'll charge the $200 typically. There are some exceptions to that, but typically $200 non-refundable deposit to your stateroom account. And then you will have 2 months once you're back home to choose your next cruise and take advantage of the onboard credit and the reduced deposit. Now, if you can't decide within 2 months, you still will get up to a year before that deposit is forfeit. So that's a great option for you. And we as travel agents service these bookings as well. So if you're already working with us, they can put it right under our agency, but you can also let them know that you want to use a travel agent, and they should be able to put it under even if you're new to us. If not, you can go ahead and book it with them and then transfer it when you get back. So lots of great options here at Next Cruise. All right, we exit the Royal Promenade area, but continue on deck 5. We see the champagne bar here. Lots of seating throughout, and the bar tucked up in the corner. And we have the beautiful rainbow bridge that's illuminated that you can walk across there, as well as some stairwells that go back down to deck 4 and deck 3. And of course, you can keep looking up, taking in the views and the artwork, and the promenade view interior rooms continue here just on the outskirts of the promenade as well. But over on the starboard side, we will find this large service desk area, mostly guest services here, but then it turns into shore excursions on this end as well. So if you didn't purchase your shore excursions ahead of your cruise, which we do recommend doing, you can come here and see what they have available. But if you need any assistance at all with anything else, guest services open 24 hours a day, available right here, and another ATM as well. And then our last thing to see on deck 5 is the last entrance to the main dining room. So once again, all the same dining room, open air, just the different decks that you enter on. So deck 5 is our last one here. And with that, we have finally covered all of deck 5, and we are heading to deck 6. And here's where my favorite part of ship tours begins, the areas that are just staterooms. So deck 6, there's nothing to see here, no public areas. It is all staterooms throughout the entire deck. And you can actually see here, we're just gonna spoiler alert this, that is the same for deck 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I usually do a little funny thing where I stop on every deck. I'm not gonna do that this time. Let's mix it up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all staterooms. Let's jump ahead to deck 11. All right, up on deck 11 now, and this is going to be our main pool deck area. A lot of stuff to see here. We're at the midship elevators. We're going to turn and start aft. And what we're going to find is the entrance to Windjammer Marketplace. That is the buffet on board. You'll have the hours of operation posted here. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, of course, included with your cruise fare. And as we enter, they have the hand washing stations on either side. So if you're going to be dining here, be sure to wash your hands before you come in and actually start grabbing food. And then you're going to see here the menu board for Chops Grill, and over on this side, Giovanni's Table, because our next 2 specialty restaurant entrances are located in here at the Windjammer Buffet Marketplace. So we turn over here to the right, over on the port side, and we find the entrance to Chops Grill. So this is the steakhouse on board the ship. Again, it is a specialty restaurant, so it does come at an additional cost. But you come in here, get a steak, but of course they have other options as well. You can see here on the menu. Pop in really quick, take a good look at the venue itself. So kind of an intimate space, not very big, not very wide. Have the tables throughout here, and then they do have the floor-to-ceiling windows, the great view. And then directly across from that on the starboard side, Giovanni's Table, the Italian restaurant. Again, specialty dining, so this does come at an additional cost. but you can come and get all your favorite Italian fare here, including some delicious pasta, of course. And we'll have a look inside here. Very similar setup to Chomps. I do like the moped though. Kind of the tables sit over to the side, and then the floor to ceiling windows throughout the space as well, but a little lighter in here. Now back to the actual buffet, the Windjammer. First of all, we do have a bar right when we come in here, so if you want to get some alcoholic drinks or specialty coffee, you can do that here. I'm going to head over here on the left side. They're actually serving over on the right side, but I'm going to go this way because it'll be easier to explain. They're mirror images of each other. So what you're going to find is that the food service stations are going to be tucked up on the inside here, where the seating is going to be over on the outside. So you're going to have all kinds of tables throughout here, different sizes, 2 top, 4 top, 6 top, 8 top, whatever you need, you'll find throughout the area. And you're going to see floor to ceiling windows throughout the entire venue. You'll also find beverage stations like this, where you can come and get the complimentary drinks, which include water, milk, tea, lemonade, and standard coffee. But if you have a package, you do have the Coke Freestyle machines in here as well. So we're going to see that same setup throughout the entire area, again, where the food service sections are on the inside, the seating is on the outside. Even as we get here into the back and it curves around, you'll find a similar setup. Again, food tucked up on the inside, seating on the outside. Now, this class of ship does not offer an outdoor seating section for the Windjammer. Some ships do that, like the Radiance class or the Quantum class ships will have that. This one does not, but you do have floor to ceiling windows again throughout the entire space, even looking out directly from the back of the ship. And as I head out here on the other side, again, it's a mirror image, food on the inside, seating on the outside, floor to ceiling windows, you got it. Checking back in here at our deck map, we see the Windjammer takes up the entire aft section of this deck, and of course Giovanni's table and Chop's grill right when we came in. Now we're going to head forward. We're going to go outside to the main pool deck area. So here's a look at the space right as we exit. We actually come right out at Splashaway Bay, which is the kids area. You can see they have the cool tube slide there, the big bucket that fills up and dumps water everywhere, sprayers and jets all throughout the area, and then a couple of small hot tubs attached to the side, which is great for the parents and guardians so they can watch the kids. You're gonna find sun loungers all throughout this deck. I won't keep pointing those out. They're gonna be everywhere and up on the deck above. But if we turn over here in the corner of the starboard side, we will find tide and trail adventure gear. So sometimes they will sell like snorkel gear and things like that in here. You can see their hours of operation are pretty limited. They're closed most days of this cruise. They were open yesterday for a few hours, but other than that, typically closed. But if you're looking for that, this is where you will find it. And right next to Tide and Trail is the included ice cream that I mentioned earlier. Soft serve, they'll get that ready for you right here. Now over opposite on the port side, see the nautical decor up above, because this is Fish and Ships. Now this is interesting. When we sailed on this ship back several years ago, this was an additional cost, like kind of fast food restaurant. It wasn't really specialty dining, but you had to pay extra for it. Now they've changed things. If we look over here at our menu board, we see the first section says on the house. So fish and chips, chicken fingers and chips, fried shrimp and chips, and crispy fish sandwich are all included with your cruise fare. If you're feeling a little spicy, you want to treat yourself, you can pay extra for a fried lobster tail basket and chips. And then they'll also have a dessert of the day, which I'm pretty sure is included. So pretty cool now that you can come right here on the pool deck and get some included grub. They also do have a bar attached, so if you're looking for drinks, you can come here as well. And dining tables and chairs right off of that. Those are going to continue all throughout the deck, and you're going to have the floor to ceiling windows as well. And then of course open air in the middle where the actual pools and splash pad areas are. And I want to point out, we talked about Splashaway Bay. They do have Baby Splash right here, kind of a little smaller splash area. And then they do have this fun little pool that's not very deep. It kind of has a little bit deeper section, looks like 2 feet right there in the middle, but the shallow shelf around, and then the splashers and the bubblers and the rainwater coming down in the middle there. Lots of fun to be had in this area. They do also provide complimentary swim vests if someone needs them. You'll find those right out here on deck. So again, our tables and chairs continuing on the outside, sun loungers on the interior, and then we find our main pool area. We see we have the hot tubs raised above here. We have some that are covered and shaded, and then we have one across there that's open into the sun. So whatever your preference is, you can find that. And then you're gonna have your deeper pool section here, as well as on the other side with kind of the lifeguard walk across right in the middle. And then tucked up in the center area here, up above, we will find our outdoor screen. So a lot of times it's going to be just showing random things like it is right now, but sometimes they'll have movies under the stars or things, movies up at the pool deck, things like that they'll broadcast up there. And then right in the middle section here, we will find our pool bar, as well as some tiered seating over on the sides, but we do see some signs that these are reserved for concierge suites and pinnacle level members of the Crown and Anchor Loyalty Society. So just keep that in mind. That might not be available for you, but if it is, those are available here on either side of the pool bar. And of course, we'll find lifeguards and lifeguard stations throughout the deck, as well as towel stations where you can rent your complimentary towels. Just make sure you return them, otherwise you will be charged. Now, as we proceed forward on the deck, we see this sign here, adult area ahead, guests 18 and up welcome, because we're entering the solarium. So again, an adults only area, but this is also going to be kind of a pool deck area and a lounge area and a hot tub area. So lounge chairs all throughout this space as well. We're going to have the hot tub set up right on the edge there with the floor to ceiling windows throughout. And then we're going to have our main pool space right here in the middle. So a little deeper section there, a little shallower section in the back with the bridge that goes across. And then this part is open air up above, while the perimeter has a ceiling area and the floor to ceiling windows. Another hot tub over on the side right here. And then we have our solarium bar right here in the middle. All right, back inside here and catching up with our maps. We saw the dining stuff in the back, came out to the main pool deck with Splashaway Bay Kids area, the main pool, the pool bar. Then we entered the solarium, which again is the adults only area. Now the only thing to see here at the forward is the spa and fitness area. So right off the forward elevators, we turn and we find the entrance to the spa and fitness center. So we do see we also have the spiral staircase going up top there. So here on Deck 11 is actually going to be more of the fitness center. So you see they have kind of the group workout space here with the rollers and the yoga mats and the exercise ball. They also have some changing rooms with sauna and steam. Keep that in mind. That's something you usually have to pay additional for. I believe that's available complimentary here in the changing rooms at the fitness center. So a really nice feature to have on board the ship. And then we're going to have our fitness center with all of our machines, our free weights, ellipticals, treadmills, floor to ceiling windows all throughout, so you're going to get great views no matter where you're at. And they're also going to have TVs mounted throughout the area as well, typically showing live sports, but it could be something else as well. Clean towels throughout the area, water available as well. And I missed this walking in, but yes, Ship-Shape Fitness Center right here on Deck 11. The spiral staircase is going to head up to the spa area, which we'll see in just a minute. That is going to be up on Deck 12, which we are heading to now because we have finished Deck 11. All right, up on Deck 12, and at the forward section, not too much to see except the aforementioned spa, so we're just going to turn here, just like we did down on Deck 11, head all the way forward, and we will find the entrance to the spa. Check-in desk is right here. If you have a treatment set up, they will guide you where you need to go, and they also sell different products here that you can purchase as well. So that's it for the forward section. Now we're going to turn and head back outside, and we will head out to our sun deck area. And this will allow you the bird's eye view of the pool deck down below, including the solarium area here, the adults only area. And then we're going to come out and see our sunbathing area with the loungers all throughout the space, and even our jogging track. So if you're looking for the appropriate area to get a good walk in or a nice jog, that'll be here on Deck 12. Now, a few things that are kind of off of Deck 12 that we need to talk about. One is this little spot here in the middle, and this is just a lounge space. They have these covered day beds here and some standard lounge chairs. So it's kind of up above, but you only access it via these stairs on Deck 12. So I needed to point it out right now. It is a great place to get a view though of the ship and of your surroundings. The next thing is also technically Deck 13, but you access it via Deck 12 outside where we are here, and you can do it from the port side or the starboard side. Doesn't matter, but we're gonna head over here and we're gonna head up these stairs to Independence Dunes, the mini golf course on board. Now, I swear I remember that there was a chairlift on one of these before. I don't see that now. So if you need assistance getting up to here, speak to the crew and I'm sure they will have a solution for you. But let's go ahead and head up the stairs here and check out the Independence Dunes. And the Independence Dunes is going to be located all the way forward, so we have to go through these sun loungers and day beds here, but keep in mind, these are here and a lot of people forget about them. So if it's getting crowded down on the sun deck, come up here and you'll probably be able to find a spot a lot easier, as well as these cool curved freshwater showers. So here we are at the Independence Dunes. Again, the mini golf on board. It is included with your cruise fare. You can grab your club and your ball there. It is 9 holes, so not a full 18, but a fun 9 with some different obstacles like going through the lighthouse or through the buoy, Clams Plinko, or around the whirlpool spiral. Also a great place to come and get a view. We mentioned the helipad down below on Deck 5, but if you want to come up here, you won't be stuck out quite as forward as the helipad was, but you can still get a nice view from the forward area of the ship. And then on the port side, the freshwater shower and the sun loungers, just like we saw on the other side. Now we can head back down to Deck 12. All right, so you remember this area we showed a minute ago where we just went up and it was a daybed and lounger area. Down below that is the Sky Lounge, the bar here for this deck, which is currently closed, but you know, they operate at certain hours. I want to point this out though. You see it says casita check-in here. That is for these lovely, colorful casitas, which you can reserve for an additional cost. I believe they are typically cheaper on port days than they are on sea days, which makes sense. Each one of them is numbered and named, and it is reserved. You're gonna have this large daybed area here, or lounge bed, whatever you want to call it. They also have some plugs, plug in and charge your devices, some little tables, usually a little cooler area. They'll bring you drinks, things like that. So you got a light up above, so nice little reserve spot you can get for an additional cost. And if you do that, when you have one of these on your day, when it's your time to use it, check in there at the Sky Lounge to utilize that. Now, most of this deck is just going to consist of those casitas and these sun loungers. It's going to be open air, and of course our jogging track going throughout the area. And then again, great place to get a bird's eye view of the pool deck. And the lounge chairs and casitas will continue through this area as well, and the jogging track, where you have this kind of little bridge you can walk across from port to starboard and overlooking the Splashaway Bay Kids area. And I'll point out here on the jogging track, they have it painted. 6 laps is 1 mile, while 4 laps is 1 kilometer or kilometer. As we continue to make our way on back, we see more sun lounges, big surprise there. You can also kind of cut through the glass here and continue on back. Before we do that, I'm gonna turn inside here to the elevator bay. And I wanna do that, one, so we can kind of go over the map. Saw the spa and fitness center here, came out, the Sky Lounge, where you can check in for the casitas, all of that, the jogging track, all in this area. Now you can see the aft section has a lot going on, and we can continue on the outside like I mentioned, or we can come in here on the inside. So we're at the midship elevators. A couple of things to see here. One, we're already on the port side, so let's just turn over here and we'll see the entrance to Adventure Ocean for the Aquanauts ages 3 to 5. So Adventure Ocean is the kids club on board. It is included with your cruise fare. You do not need to pay any additional for the kiddos to utilize that, and they will be broken up into their appropriate age groups. And they're going to have their own rooms and activity areas based on those age groups. So 3 to 5 again is the Aquanauts. So you can see the ones inside, so we can show you kind of a little play area there. And then we're going to skip over the middle section just for a second, come over here to starboard side, and we'll find the entrance to Royal Babies and Tots. So this is going to be our youngest age group on board. And all the way at the end here, we see it says nursery. This is for the Royal Babies and Tots, their room right there. And we also see right across from that, it says the living room, which used to be a teenagers area, but now it says welcome to Royal Babies and Tots open play area. So reserved for people with young children. There's an open play area. I guess this isn't for teenagers anymore. Okay, now back in the middle, we see our dolphin and our big orange couch, and we see the entrance, official entrance to Adventure Ocean and Challengers Video Arcade. So as we come through the hallway, we see the different arcade machines here. These are at an additional cost, but I always like to let people know, if you're planning on playing in the arcade on board, you can actually purchase arcade credits ahead of your cruise on the My Royal Cruise section of Royal Caribbean's website, and you'll get a 20% discount for doing so. So lots of arcade games throughout the area here, even Guitar Hero, Subway Surfers, and if you haven't purchased your credits, you can do that here. You can use this to purchase an arcade card, or you can just tap your SeaPass card if it has charging abilities. Either way, just tap the card on the machine there, pay the amount that's listed, and you can play the game. And this is actually quite a sizable arcade. It keeps going on around here with all different kinds of games to play, including everyone's favorite skee ball. And they also have a prize hub, so your account will keep track of your virtual tickets, and then you can redeem those here in this little machine for prizes. More games on that side of the wraparound, and then also here in this middle section, including Batman and Joker Laughing Madness, the best air hockey game ever invented. Right next to that, we'll see the entrance to the Explorer's Room, ages 6 to 8 of the Adventure Ocean crew. And then all the way at the end here, first we see Voyagers, which is ages 9 to 11. And then we see Fuel, which has now been labeled as the Teen Lounge for 12 to 17, the hours of operation here. We head in, we see a little bar seating area, some TVs across there, even got some foosball in the middle, big lounge space with other TVs on the side, and even like a little juice bar area over there. Okay, back in the arcade main area, we could continue back out to the elevators to go outside, or we can turn off here to the starboard side, which we will do. And before we head outside, we'll see the entrance to the living room. We saw the other entrance from the other side. There's a better look at it. But if we head outside here on the starboard side, we see the entrance to Johnny Rockets. Now this is an additional cost, but they are gonna have a great diner set up in here. You can come and get milkshakes. They're gonna have burgers, dogs, things like that. Got the cool booths right there, and then some hard booths that you can sit in outside as well. And here's a quick look at the Johnny Rockets menu so you can get an idea of what they have available. Now it's typically kind of a cover charge cost, so you pay one cost and you can get whatever you want on the menu. And now we'll make our way to the very back of the ship. Again, those hard outside booths for Johnny Rockets. And then we see the floor out here says fuel, so we're right outside that teens area that we saw a minute ago. And we kind of just have a lounge and bar relaxing space, bar table space. There's not an actual bar here, but bar table space, I guess you could call it. And you can see here on the sign, this is how you'll access the sports court and all these items up on deck 13 via these stairs. But before we do that, I wanted to point out that they have some chairs all along the back here, and you can come out to the very back of the ship and get a great view, especially when you're sailing. You'll get that wake view. Now let's head up these stairs to what is technically deck 13, and the first thing we'll see is the Flow Rider. So not currently active, but this is a surf simulator on board, so it will generate waves that people can surf on. You can kneeboard, or you can try to stand up and surf as well. And this is included with your cruise fare. You do have to sign a waiver and things like that, but you can come here and have a great time for no additional cost, and they do have a large viewing area as well. Now we could have accessed deck 13 from the inside of the elevators, but since we're already out here, we might as well just continue, right? Out here on the starboard side, we'll see the Sky Climber, fun little climbing platform area. And here's some rules and regulations for that. I think the main thing to keep in mind is that maximum occupant weight is 300 pounds, though I don't think they actually weigh anyone for that. Now before we continue over to the port side, we see this stairwell here and it says Sky Pad. Let's head up. So this is the Sky Pad, this big open air yellow ball up top. Now when the Sky Pad debuted, it was a bungee trampoline area, and they even had some virtual reality games to go with it. However, in recent years, they do not offer that anymore. So this is nothing now except just a hangout area. We do have a large Connect 4. You can come up and get some views, but that's about it. But while we're up here, I will use this opportunity to kind of point out some different things, including our Perfect Storm water slides. So 2 body slides you can see right here on the port side of the ship. They just twirl around and dump down at the bottom. Very mild, though they do kind of go out over the side of the ship, and because of these little stripes and dots, when the light comes through, the sunlight comes through, it looks like flashing colorful lights, which is really fun. And then opposite of that, looking forward, we see our full-size basketball court, and they'll also use this for pickleball or soccer, dodgeball, things like that. And then we have our rock climbing wall right behind that. All of these things that I've just mentioned are included with your cruise fare. And just some notes on the water slides here. The minimum height is 48 inches for both slides. The maximum weight is 250 pounds for the Cyclone, which is more of the blue one, and 220 pounds for Typhoon, the green and yellow one. That equals to 114 kilograms or 100 kilograms respectively. As we get ready to head back inside, I'll point out this outdoor area here. This is for the Suite Lounge. It's the outdoor section of the Suite Lounge. We'll see the main entrance to that in just a minute. And then over there across on the other side, we'll see an outdoor section for the Crown and Anchor Lounge. And while we're getting ready to head inside at the elevators, I will turn around and point out they do have this handy map here to kind of show you how everything is laid out here on the sports court area and which way to go to access each individual item. Okay, back inside of the elevators, deck 13 here does not have the standard map that I've been using, but that's actually okay. It'll give me an opportunity to talk about these. These are digital display boards that are actually touch screens, and you'll find them throughout the ship, typically at the elevators and stairs, and you can utilize them to find things to do right now, where your stateroom is, where restrooms are, different things like that. It's a great interactive map, and what will serve our purposes right here to show you on deck 13, there's really not too much. The forward part is the Independence Dunes mini golf that we already saw, and then the back part we just covered all of those things outside, like the Flow Rider and the water slides and rock climbing. So we are done with deck 13. We'll head up to 14. All right, using the digital touchscreens again for deck 14, you see there's nothing forward or middle. Everything is here in the back, starting with the Sky Pad, which we already saw. And then we're gonna have this kind of circular area starting right behind us here. This stairwell heads up to deck 15, which is where the escape room is. So this does come at an additional cost. These are not private games, and on our cruise they're running about $33 a person. Now when the escape rooms debuted on Royal Caribbean, it was about $20 a person, and we kind of defended that because we said if it's free, everyone will do it and it'll get booked up. I think $33 a person for a non-private experience is kind of crazy, because we do a ton of escape rooms back on land, and that's a price you would typically pay for a very good room for a private experience. So again, public experience, you'll probably be in the room with other people that you may not know, so just keep that in mind. Now right over here on the port side, we'll find the entrance to the suite lounge. I do not have access to this because I'm not staying in a suite, but if you are, it's going to be right inside here. They'll typically have some hors d'oeuvres and drinks and a nice lounge space for you to utilize. And then here in the middle, kind of can walk through the elevators, we'll find the Viking Crown Lounge, a big lounge space here up on top, floor to ceiling windows all throughout, so you can take in a great view, and typically uses a lounge space sometimes for private functions. They're setting up for one right now. There's the bar over there in the middle, and then in the direct middle you'll have the stage, so if they're doing karaoke or a dance club event or something like that, they can utilize that. But it's a great place to come for an interior view of the outside world. As we make our way over to our final venue, I wanted to point out that there is this chairlift here, so if you need that to get up to the escape room on deck 15, you can utilize it. Now just across from the bar in the Viking Crown Lounge, we will find the entrance to our final venue on board, the Crown Lounge. This is for the upper level members of the Crown and Anchor Loyalty Society. So Diamond, Diamond Plus, and Pinnacle. So let's go ahead and head inside here. And right when we come in, you can see they have a specialty coffee machine. You can utilize to get some nice drinks. Right now they have some cookies and fruit out that will change throughout the day, and then a nice area to get some chilled water as well. Seats and lounging throughout the space. And then they even have kind of a little concierge desk over here. If you need help making reservations, you have questions, anything like that, you can utilize that. Now over here, I mentioned this earlier, that there was an outdoor section, and you can see this here on this side. And again, a very similar setup for the suite lounge over on the other side, but this will give you an idea of what that looks like. Well, there you have it, friends. That is our tour of Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas. We hope you found it useful and informational as you plan your trip on board this ship. And hey, I'll remind you, check out our full Independence of the Seas playlist, where you can see this ship tour again, our room tour, and all of our daily videos, including our sailing from Cape Liberty, New Jersey, and over in Bermuda. If you're interested in coming on board Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas or one of any of their fine other vessels, we can help make that happen. We partner directly with Royal Caribbean. We are travel agents, and our services are completely free to you. There are no charges, fees, or costs whatsoever, and you will never pay a single cent more to book with us than you would direct on your own. So please feel free to reach out via the travel agent information. You can find it in the description of this video. And hey, even if you've recently booked your Royal Caribbean cruise within the past 30 days, if you're not paid in full, you can transfer to our agency. That's also free of charge, and then we'll be able to assist you the rest of the way. So either way, we hope we will hear from you soon. Once again, thank you for joining us for today's video, but we're signing off, and we will see you next time. Happy travels!